It's a small world after all.
God.
It's a small world after all. I still prefer Kyle's mom is a bitch, is a big fat bitch, is the biggest bitch in the whole wide world. What do you think?
I prefer Kyle's mom's a bitch. Well, you know, we were Disney, so some of the moms were a bitch in there.
Oh, God, there was a lot of So anyways, welcome everybody to Coyote Tales. I am here with a special guest, my significant other, better half, Ryan Shannon.
Hello, everybody out there in podcast land.
And we just got back from like an epic family vacation. Yay!
I hate family vacations.
So, we're going to break this into like 3 different episodes to kind of like give you the rundown of where we went. We were there at the end of March, so we did Orlando, Florida. Not as fabulous as the Mormons thought in the Book of Mormon.
No, it wasn't, but that's an excellent play. If you ever get a chance to see the Book of Mormon, go see it. It's really good. There's maggots in my scrotum.
Yeah. That might have been more pleasurable than the experience you had at Disney World.
Yeah, well, might have been, you know. Disney World was hot, humid, people are assholes, fucktards. God, you know, I can't even speak about it. That's how bad it is.
Oh, we're going to speak about it. Otherwise, this will be a very short podcast.
I know.
So anyways, we did the whole catalyst for these trips was my grandson is 10 years old. That's Maddox. And the window on the amount of time that Disney World was cool was rapidly closing. So we went ahead and braved the crowds. And we did 2 days in Disney, 2 days at Universal, and then a couple of other days doing cool things in Florida, including getting to swim with manatees. Well, that'll be our part 3 of this series of podcasts. But we're stupid because we didn't just take Maddox, which would have been way more cost effective.
And probably a funner in the long run.
I know. But I decided to go ahead and bring my middle child, Jasmine, and their husband, Adam, along with us. And for some fucking reason, I'm so stupid, I decided to pay for everything.
What the fuck were you thinking?
I don't know, but...
I mean, here, that's me slapping Donna.
And I've had the money since 2017.
Was it 2017 or 2016?
2017 is when we got the payout.
Okay.
The damages happened in 2007. So people are going, what the hell damages? So in 2007, I had a botched hysterectomy, and I was part of a mass torts lawsuit for everyone else who got totally fucked up from the transvaginal mesh. And yes, it took 10 years from when that happened to when I got my settlement and my reward. So one of the things I decided to do in 2017 was I wanted to take Maddox to Disney World. Hey, the doctors just broke your vagina, Donna. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to Disney World. Yay!
Probably a stupid choice, but that's what I did.
No, we could have bought a car or a house or something like that, but we already had the house and we already had the car. So let's do Disney World.
Yeah. And let's face it, you know, I did get a large cash settlement for my broken vagina. And ladies, we all know somebody who's broken their vagina for far, far less. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't know. I have a penis.
Well, you know what? We saw plenty of crotch goblins in Disney World, so those women had busted up their vaginas for that and got the trip to Disney World.
Yeah, crotch critters or crotch whatever the fuck they're called. Karens out the wazoo.
Oh my
Dads
God.
that were just fucking miserable. I spent all my overtime for this shit.
Oh, yeah. So, let's talk about the Magic Kingdom, which was the first... That's like, when you think Disney World, that's like the main thing, right? That's the traditional Disney World, Disneyland, all the rest of that. And so, here's the thing. I took my kids there when they were like 10, 10, 11, 12. I think maybe James was 14. And at the time, we kind of... Disney World was like not us, all right? So I figured, Mel, it must have been because the kids were older and they had aged out and they just didn't really appreciate it and things like that. But as it turns out, when we went back with Maddox, who's 10 years old, and everybody else, it's like, no, it's not the age of my kids. It's us. We are not wholesome people.
There's a story that goes with that later on.
There's several stories that go along with that. Yeah, so most of the rides were too slow or just
too small.
Too small. Yeah, rides. Couldn't have anybody join him on some of the rides.
Because I'm hefty and 6'4" and 300 pounds. Yeah, it was hard to fit a second person in my cart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those rides, they're probably ancient, so they're...
Well, they are ancient. Most of them are ancient because they were Disney World was celebrating its 50th anniversary.
Right, and I went to Disneyland in Florida, but that was back in '84.
California.
Disney,
yeah.
What did I say, Florida?
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
I went there in '84, but...
And you were probably 12 then.
Yeah, I was 12.
Yeah. But you went with your dad.
Yeah, there was history behind that one.
Right.
We did a lot of things there.
And I'm sure there was just less people there.
Well, yeah, it was during the '84 Olympics, so, a lot of people there weren't there to see Disney. They were there to see the Olympics.
Right. Right. And what I remember when I was a kid, my parents and stuff, and my dad would speak at conferences and things. So they would be in Orlando or in California. So I got to go to Disneyland or World multiple times, but we always went during the off season. So it's all like, hey, let's go jump in Pirates of the Caribbean and let's walk through the line.
Rather than a 3-hour wait for a ride.
Yeah. Well, there weren't 3-hour waits in Disney World itself, but it was up to an hour. And here's the thing that fucking sucked the most.
What a waste of money.
Oh my God. So we got the Disney Genie app, which you pay extra for. And what it's supposed to do is, it sounds like an awesome concept, that you book a reservation for a ride, and then you show up when your reservation's due, and you go walking past all the unwashed masses who are waiting to get into the ride, and you just go right up to the line and you get on. Sounds cool, right?
Well, it sounds wonderful. But
when it works.
It didn't work the first day we were there, and the second day it sort of worked.
Well, the problem was the bullshit rules. So number one, we didn't have to get a cast member to fix it for us. And that's what they call their crew. So it wasn't like fucking Disney or Mickey Mouse himself was fixing the app. It was
felt like it.
Yeah, it was like a gal at a information booth, right?
Right.
But and they linked it all up, and then she fixed it so that she instantly booked us on 3 or 4 rides. So we just went and did the Haunted Mansion, and then we ran over and did the Jungle Cruise, and then there was 3 things she set up for us immediately. It was beautiful
that day
for that piece.
Yeah.
But then we got the rundown on how the rest of the worlds would work, and we were at Disney Hollywood the next day, which we're going to talk more about them in a minute. But for this bullshit fucking app, here's the worst thing about it, is you can only book something every 2 hours. Not meaning you have to have a 2-hour window in between the things. It's all okay, we booked Space Mountain at 10 a.m., Right? Now, the reservation we couldn't get would not be until 5 p.m.
If that.
But we booked it at 10 a.m. Then we have to wait till noon before we can book anything else.
Correct. And it just sucks. Where Universal Studios, you buy the Lightning Pass and you skip there's 2 rides there that you couldn't do.
Right.
They were brand new. Out of both parks, they were brand new.
Yeah. So it's all no, that was beautiful. We felt like fucking royalty when we did that, because all we did was we flashed our pass at people.
Come on down.
There were so many rides that we just walked straight up to and got on immediately.
I think you went on all the rides in Universal except for one.
Yeah. Yep, there was one thing I didn't do.
Yeah.
And we didn't do the Hagrid ride either, but...
So there was 2 rides you did do, Hagrid and the Velocicoaster.
Yeah, I paid more than what that bullshit app was, but here's the other thing that was a problem with the Disney app, is not only was it bullshit, it was way cheaper than the other passes, but it was complete and total horseshit.
It was a waste of money, in my opinion.
And it drove us crazy for 2 fucking days.
You'd go into the app, you'd see, oh, I can confirm this, hit the button, it would think a minute and say, nope, it's closed, sorry, you missed it.
Sold out.
Missed your window, sold out.
You know, no more available spots today. And we're talking about like fucking 10 a.m.
10 a.m., 10-second delay, standing in line for another ride.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was bad.
Yeah, and especially... Also, when we got the app thing to work, in Disney World in particular, this was the worst part. Also, we didn't figure out how to navigate the park smart until later. But Disney World, this was the biggest problem, was it's fucking huge.
It's huge.
And you would like have a reservation out in Tomorrowland, where Space Mountain is, and then you had to haul ass over to... like the next roller coaster or Splash Mountain or what you wanted to do.
Which closed.
Yeah, but was on the opposite side of the fucking park. And then you had to like haul ass back over to like Fantasy World or whatever the fuck. We did so much
back and forth.
Backtracking. Oh, and fighting the crowds.
And fighting with each other a little bit.
Well, that one was all... Disney fallout. Disney
it was
nuclear
Disney
fallout.
Yeah, that was all Disney fallout.
Oh my god, you were counting steps.
Yeah, I think the first day walking around, we did like 20,000 steps, which was like 10 miles per month.
It was like 10 to 12 miles every day.
10 to 12 miles for the first day. I think we slowly went down after that, but it was still... You know, I don't do 10 miles in a week, let alone a day.
Yeah. 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 And Maddox was completely underwhelmed.
He was, Magic Kingdom, he was very underwhelmed.
Oh, yeah.
He did the haunted house, and it was
he hated the haunted mansion so much.
I love the haunted mansion. It's still my favorite ride, just because I have history of 1984 going with my dad. There's history there for me.
I know. It's like my favorite ride there, too. And Maddox is just like, so what?
Well, it's my second favorite ride at Disney now.
Oh, what's your first?
Well,
that's not at Disney World. That's at the other place. Yeah.
Well, in Disney in general.
Yeah. Okay, so any last things about Disney World?
Overpriced, too expensive, too many people.
So many families in fucking matching shirts. It was creepy.
It was disgusting.
It was so weird.
Oh, so some advice. If you have kids, don't fucking take a stroller.
Oh, God. So many strollers.
You can't take the strollers on the ride. You have to park them on the side of the road, and then people... And another thing, don't fucking stop in the middle of the walkway. Walk to the side and talk to your group. Don't do it in the middle of the part or the path.
Yeah.
You're going to get a people enema if you do that.
Yeah, you almost got a toddler enema several times.
Oh, yeah, several times I got goosed by children.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, we're going to talk about it. So the worst ride, or it wasn't the ride I hated the most was the Little Mermaid ride.
It was horrible. The other reason I liked it is because we got stuck at a good part where I could hear the songs.
Oh, we got stuck in the part with the wedding.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
At that point, I was singing to myself. So it was all good.
So I thought that the Little Mermaid ride was going to be the re-engineered 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
No.
Which would have been awesome.
Would have been amazing.
Okay, so if you don't know what that is, you're not old enough for that. They used to have... You go on a little submarine and it submerges under real water, and then it goes around and it does all the stuff from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and there's like an octopus attack and all.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm like, that would have been a good way to set up the Little Mermaid. No, not at all.
cheesy, old animatronics. Bad.
Yeah, there were some bad animatronics in there. Here was the worst thing about it, is we stood in line for 45 minutes for this fucking thing.
Because of Donna.
Because of me!
It was all Donna.
Because of me! Because I thought it was going to be awesome if they had done it the way I wanted it.
Yeah, but they didn't.
But they didn't. So Maddox and I rode that one together, and we get stopped at the wedding at the end, and I'm like, so what do you think, Maddox? He goes, I don't even know this movie.
Well, every time I've tried to watch it in the past, I'd fall asleep watching it and wake up going, how in the fuck did she get legs? And I did it 3 or 4 times, and the person I was watching it with said, just go back to sleep. You've missed too much of the story. Just go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that for me was the worst ride in the entire trip. But the very last ride we did at Disneyland itself, Disney World, whatever.
Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, whatever the fuck. Money grab.
Money grab.
The money grab kingdom.
Oh, another thing, fucking parades.
Yeah.
There's a parade every fucking 10 minutes, and yes, it will cock block you. It will bathroom block you. It'll block you everywhere. There's
Maddox almost shit his pants because he was trying. There were not enough bathrooms because the place was made 50 years ago. And he was trying to get to the bathroom, and a goddamn parade broke out in front of him.
Right. I mean, the dragon was cool on the parade, but that was about it.
The dragon did breathe fire and all the rest of that, but is it worth shitting your pants for when they're going to do it again in 20 minutes?
Yeah, no. The dragons in Universal and Hogwarts were way, way, way better.
I don't know about that.
Oh, come on. The dragon on top of the bank breathing fire.
But he didn't move. He's
That's
just
true.
static. This thing was a steampunk dragon.
It was really, really cool.
That moved, all articulated. It was very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So then the very last ride was Winnie the Pooh, which I thought was going to be great.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it said it only had a 25-minute wait, which was a lie.
Fucking kids. I almost snapped. I told Don I'd be good this entire trip, and this is the ride that almost made me snap.
Oh, yeah. Because here's the thing. Standing in line, number one, you didn't see how big the line was. But they also had, like, playground equipment and activities for children while you're standing in line. So, like, drums.
They were kids' drums, so it was no beat. It was just random beating. Noise.
And then they had busy bees that went along tracks. And
that's where I got goosed 3 different times. I'm sitting there standing next to the busy bees. Next thing you know, I feel a kid's shoulder go up my butt. It's like, oh, okay. And then I move over. He walks past me. Second time, I'm thinking, huh? Holy shit, there it is again. Yeah. Fucking 3 times I had kids try to goose me.
I thought they were just going to ram their heads right up your ass.
I felt like they were going to ram their heads up my ass.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't have a fart, so I couldn't have, crop dusted them, but it still sucked.
Right. And you couldn't defend yourself.
I couldn't defend myself. Not in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. And then it also had, like, pages out of books and stuff, which you'd think would be sweet and innocent. But then, as you kind of go around the curve, is these screens that were like dripping honey, and then you like ran your hands over it. You could draw things in the honey. If you swept the honey away, you'd see the picture underneath it,
right?
Which is like Rabbit or Pooh or whatever. But of course, Adam, being the charming person that he is, starts drawing dicks in the honey.
And Jasmine would try to wipe them away.
Wipe them away as fast as
possible.
We're
in Magic Kingdom. It's a kid place. I'm going to draw another dick.
And by the way, Adam teaches first grade, so that's like the worst of it. But the honey pages look like pages of books. So up at the top, it had writing. So here's the things that are written on top of these pages. Painting with dribbles that run down the wall is like doodling noodles that wiggle and crawl.
With penises.
With dicks.
Penis!
Yep. And It's really a treat to make pictures so sweet. What fun to make art you can eat. With Cox.
With Cox.
Yep. Let's see, what's the other one? Oh, drawing with honey is funny when the pictures are sticky and runny.
Penis.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
I will admit, he got good at drawing penises near the end of the honey.
Yeah. And then we're like going through the ride itself. It has a nightmare scene with Winnie the Pooh, and it ends with him waking up with what?
Goo all over his face.
And white, runny things running down the walls. It's all like, oh my god, somebody had a cum explosion in here.
It was not a fun ride.
Yeah, so Pooh will never be innocent. It was a bad ride,
but it was a fun experience with what we were doing with it.
I know. We couldn't stop laughing when we got into the ride, especially when we saw the dream sequence.
Right.
Yeah. It's holy cow.
Disney World was a waste of money.
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom, I should say, was a waste of money.
Yeah.
Good if you have kids that are willing to do it, but don't waste your overtime on it.
Yeah, don't waste your overtime on it. To sum it up perfectly, when we came back, we took Malcolm out for dinner. He's my youngest son, and he was coming by and checking on the cat. And he reminded me of the ride that me and my kids invented when we went to Disney World.
Okay.
Which was the Ode to Capitalism.
Okay.
So the ride starts out with you get in your little cart and you have to pull your wallet open. And at various parts during the ride, it just has vacuums that go and suck up all the money out of your wallet.
In addition to paying for the $150 ticket.
Yeah. Yeah. And, oh God, Malcolm remembers this thing vividly, but all I remember is like the last scene shows a dad bent over, animatronic dad, with Mickey railing him from behind. And every time he thrusts into his ass, the money just goes blah, blah, out of his pockets.
Oh my God.
And his face is like, why? Why?
It's for the children.
It's for the children. And Mickey, oh. Oh, you want lube? Extra $20. Oh.
Here comes Goofy.
So anyways, but all right, that's Disney World for you. Don't ever have to go back.
No need.
Yeah. Oh, and the last thing is, on the tickets, it warns you that there is no profanity allowed inside Disney World. And if you curse too much, they will ask you to leave.
Correct.
So, of course, our thing quickly turned into how many times can we say fuck before we get asked to leave?
Well, I did it in the car.
You got yours out in the car. Halfway through the day, we're doing it all in line.
Yes.
We didn't say it to cast members.
No, it was just a lot of waiting and fucking people to get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I will say thank you to this, though. Because you signed us up for a wonderful dinner at the end of the day. I thought our reservations at 8:15 were going to be way too late, but
they worked out perfect.
They worked out perfectly. And we got into the Crystal Palace, which was like wonderful buffet food. The food was pretty good there.
It was decent food for the price, I mean.
But what was really nice is all the rest of the idiots were gathered in the main square there because the fireworks were going to be starting. Those assholes started gathering an hour before the fireworks were going to start.
If not more.
Yeah. And when we finished our dinner and started walking out, the fireworks were just starting.
And we got a chance to stand on the porch and watch them.
Yeah.
And then we're all like, why are we doing this? We've seen fireworks. Let's just leave.
Well, here's the thing. I never got to see the fireworks show at Disney World before. You know why? Because my dad is all like, I've seen fucking fireworks before. Let's go and get a jump on the traffic.
Oh, sounds familiar, doesn't it?
A little bit. And we saw most of the fireworks. We left probably with about 15 minutes to go.
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes to go. And it gave us a beautiful jump on the traffic. It did.
Right.
But you still have to do that death march.
Yeah, it took 20 minutes just to get to where your car was parked before you got in the park.
Oh, yeah. Well, Adam was pretty pissed about having to, in case you don't know, Disney World, it's a chore just to even get inside of it.
You can ride a ferry across a lake, would it be a lake, or you can ride monorail.
Monorail. Yeah. So, anyways, all right. Done with Disney World. Let's talk about Hollywood Disney.
So disappointing.
Most of it.
Most of it was disappointing. Too many people, too hot, too sticky. Same thing as Magic Kingdom.
But the atmosphere was better. The park was newer, so they solved some of the problems. Like there was way more bathrooms.
It seems like there was more bathrooms, less rides.
I don't know about that. Less shitty rides, I would say.
Okay, yeah, good point. Less shitty rides.
Yeah, no fucking Small World after all in there.
Oh, one ride that we did, Smuggler's Run. If you do Smuggler's Run, be the pilot, you get to see what's going on.
But you got to work.
You have to work.
Yeah.
But at least as the pilot, you can see. If you're the gunner like Donna and I was, you pretty much don't get to watch the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's on the Millennium Falcon and all that's really cool. And we should have done it a second time just because you figured out as a gunner you can just hold your finger on the button.
And it
shoots automatically.
Your percentage goes down, but at that point, who cares?
Who cares? Because then you get to see what's going on.
Right.
Yeah. And we went to Toy Story Land first. That was cool. The Slinky Dog coaster was way more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, the shooting gallery was fun too.
Yeah. Yeah. That one was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we walked over to Star Wars Land, which was the biggest thing that we've been looking forward to since 2019.
By far.
By far. So the whole Disney World plans was when I got the money in 2017, then we heard Star Wars was going to be open in 2019, so we waited till then. Then we heard, well, only half the shit was open and there was horrible wait lines. So we're like, oh, we'll wait till 2020.
COVID.
Yeah, something happened there. And then 2021, still COVID.
Yeah, but everything was starting to open up, but everything was delayed and not everybody was working. And
yeah, and then 2022 is when we finally made it there.
Right.
So our first impression when we walked into Star Wars Land was
so disappointing.
Yeah, this is it.
This is it.
This is it.
Yeah, the stormtroopers were cool because they had first order stormtroopers everywhere, but that was it.
And no, not even everywhere. They were just
on stage.
On stages. That's it. Not like walking through the crowd, not interacting, just kind of.
And trying to get food. There was no signs of anything of things at what time they opened or what you do.
Yeah. Couldn't get into the cantina.
No, cantina was booked for weeks. You couldn't build a droid.
Months. Yeah, the build a droid
build a lightsaber
was
booked.
They had been sold out for months.
Yeah, we tried looking in January, and they were sold out.
And we were there in March. Yeah. So Jasmine and Adam were going to buy one for Maddox. It was $220 to do that build a lightsaber thing. That was more than the ticket.
Yeah, that was just crazy.
And we just couldn't ever get in, so Maddox was disappointed with that. And then the Rise of the Resistance was the big thing you wanted to ride. That was the thing that every time we tried to book the lightning lane for it.
Well, it didn't let you book it was a new ride, so it didn't even let you book the lightning.
No, it opened it up once with like
shut it.
And it filled within 30 seconds.
Yeah,
that was the one that. Oh, look, we can book it in the amount of time our phones were syncing. It failed.
It failed.
Yeah. And so from the moment we got there, we were watching, because the app did show you the wait times. And it was always a 2 to 3 hour wait to get in there.
It was always 2 to 3 hour wait.
And I'm like, I am not standing in line for 2 hours for a ride. And I complained about it. We did other things first.
We did lots of other things first, and I don't remember something happened or...
We went to the Muppet Show.
We went to which I thought was good.
Yeah.
Adam, thought it was cheesy, but I like it. I'm a Muppets fan.
I am too. And we came walking out of the Muppets on one of the other things, marquees for one of the features there. So, hey, Rise of the Resistance wait time is going to 120 minutes.
2 hours.
Yeah. So
I said, I'll wait 2 hours for Rise.
I'm like, fuck it. Let's just bite the bullet.
Well, no, what it was is Jasmine, Adam, and Maddox wanted to go do the Tower of Terror, which is a drop ride. I'm like, if I'm going to go wait 2 hours for you guys at one ride, I'm going to go to Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah. And I don't like drop rides in general, so I was all like, well, I'll go with you, Ryan.
We'll stand in a line. We'll make it fun.
Yeah.
I'll do it by myself. I'm glad you went with me.
I am too, because what was your impression of Rise of the Resistance?
Tell you what, I hate Magic Kingdom, but Ride of the Resistance in Disney World, to quote Harry, totally redeemed itself.
Yeah, just like, from Dumb and Dumber. Just when I thought you couldn't get any dumber. You go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself.
It was amazing.
Mind-blowing. We can't even tell you what it was because we are not going to be the spoilers.
You know what? It went through the ride and it's just, I got off the ride. I couldn't stop smiling. I'm literally...
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I can't stop smiling. I can't.
I know. I couldn't stop raving about it. It gave me the immersive Star Wars experience that I've wanted since I was 7 years old.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the funny thing is we that line was only an hour.
It was an hour and a half.
It was an hour and a half.
It said it was 2 hours, but it was an hour and a half.
And it went quick. And the ride was amazing. Highly recommend it. Don't go to Magic Kingdom. Go to Hollywood Disney.
Yep. And the ride itself was 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
So it was so amazing that after we met up with Jasmine and Adam from the drop, and by the way, their ride got delayed, so it was
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours is how long they were in line for that. And we were like, you gotta do Rise of the Resistance. So I stood in line for another 2 hours to ride it again.
Yeah, it was worth it. If I could have done a single rider, I would have done a single rider and done it a third time. It was that good.
It was amazing.
I caught more stuff the second time through.
Yeah.
Because your head's on a swivel. It's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and then it was just wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. And so when Maddox got off of it, he asked me, Grandma, were we really flying? And I'm like, no. He goes, well, how did they do that? I go, it's magic. And he's like, oh, please. I go, no, it's Disney magic. That's what that shit is.
But it was amazing. Yeah, I'm still smiling about it now, thinking about it.
I know. Yeah. It's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah. But that's all we can say.
It's all we can say. You got to visit it yourself if you want to find out how good it was.
Yeah. But get this. I saw this announced yesterday, Ryan. So.
Yes.
Disney World is putting out a new thing.
Oh, no.
And it's for Guardians of the Galaxy.
I know. I saw that.
Yeah. Guess when it opens?
Next year.
Summer 2022.
Well, I was also disappointed that Tron didn't open because Tron was...
Oh, they were doing major construction on that.
Yeah,
That's
so
nowhere
that was
close.
New, but still, Tron would have been cool to see too.
Yeah.
I just can't do... Guardians is probably one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just can't do it again.
Can't spend thousands of dollars to ride a 20-minute ride.
No, can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if I just went to Hollywood Disney and ride that, I might do that a second time. Maybe.
Third, fourth.
Maybe fourth. I'd watch, Smuggler's Run a second time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. And then the very last thing that me, Jasmine, Adam, Maddox did was the Rockin' Roller Coaster, which is it's just another roller coaster with a really good soundtrack. Because it's all the Aerosmith themed stuff. But that was one of the few things that our Lightning Lane actually worked, that Genie app actually worked. I tried to count it up. All total. So the Magic Kingdom doesn't count because we had somebody book it for us. So we had 4 things booked for the entire day that we did successfully. One of them being Splash Mountain, which was shut down by the time we got there.
Right.
It broke. In Hollywood Disney, three things. We had 3 things work for the entire day. And we were there from 9 a.m.
Open
to almost close. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 12 hours, 3 reservations on 3 rides worked.
So it's
horseshit.
Horseshit. And not worth it.
Not worth it.
Stand in line. You'll have better results if you stand in line.
Yeah. Unless you just feel like giving to the Ode to Capitalism ride.
Yeah. No, thank you.
All right, so that wraps up Disney for us. So hang in there. We're going to do another marathon kind of session here, and we're going to talk about what we did at Universal Studios next.
Donna Shannon's Coyote Tales is a production of Coyote Visions Productions and is hosted by Donna Shannon. Ugh, nothing redundant about that. Theme music is Coyote Strut by James Ney. All other music is ethically sourced and licensed from sounddogs.com and epidemicsound.com. And we paid for it, I swear. We can provide receipts if necessary. All the stories you've heard are true. Only the names, events, and facts have been changed for our own amusement. In the immortal words of Obi-Wan, so what I told you was true from a certain point of view. Find all of Donna Shannon's website and social media links at Linktree. That's linktr.ee/Donna Shannon. Follow us and find out all about upcoming shows and live performances. Now go out there, enjoy life, and grab some tales of your own.